Hi, ladies and gentlemen, this is Christelle Martinette, and I'm here with a reading for the month of December. And I've recorded this part of the video after I've done everything else. And what I'm seeing is that the spread that I'm using and the cards that I'm using the tarot of the elements, the elemental tarot. And I mentioned it in the beginning of a couple of videos, so forgive my repetition. And the VERA SIBILLA, what would life be without them, to clarify. And I have the my antler runes with me this time. What I have found is that the spread that I'm using, and I feel like I'm repeating myself, I hope I'm not, gives me some insight into what is coming up in the year of 2018. The questions you raise in the month of December, the plans you go into the month of December with. There are certain parts of the year through the elements that I read in the cards this month, and I'll give you some insight on that when they come up, you will see. So this is a December 2017 reading and a peek into 2018. That's enough. Let's get into the readings. Hello, Scorpio. It's Christelle for a reading for you for the month of December and then down into 2018. This is a fluorite, polished fluorite that I wanted to show you before I start. And my moldavite, and one of my favorite stones, this is new for me, the citrine, polished citrine. So let's take a look at what is in store for you, Scorpio, for the month of December. Starting December, Scorpio. Starting December. Just tomorrow. Starting December starts tomorrow. Well, interesting. The King of Wands. Let me turn things off here. The King of Wands, the Knight of Cups, Six of Pentacles, Ace of Cups, and the Five of Pentacles. There you are. All right, now the question. What is the question of the month? This is the King of Wands for Scorpio, the King of Wands. I'm seeing that there is there's fire here, and that's undoubtedly the case. But it is as if you come into the month as a King of Wands. You present as a fire sign. And I've never said this, I think, to you, Scorpio. So I'll be clarifying that. Let's see what else there is here. This is the Knight of Cups, and the Knight of Cups is a water sign, of course, but it's an air of water. So this is the Knight in the emotional domain of the cups, but it is the Knight that most clearly resolves intellect and wishes intellect and is interested in communication. And it's quite interesting, this, because it has a, well, let me go into order. And this is the action that you undertake in the month of December. You will be entertaining communication at an emotional level. And it will, let me go on first. This is the Six of Pentacles, and the Six of Pentacles here is a card of, well, it is the moon in Taurus. Let me see if I could get that. The moon in Taurus, and the moon in Taurus is the sign that it is communicating to you the period that you will be able to create an environment for your emotions to start really to take off. Now, we know that Taurus is the period of April 21st to May 20th, more or less, give or take a day. And this is the environment that you will be waiting for. It will be, the time will be ripe in that period of Taurus for you to fully give. You'll be giving spiritually, but also, and this is, in Italian there's an expression, put your hand on fire, when you say, I've got a gut feeling, this has got to be it. When you will be giving of your riches, of your finances, you're going to start planning things and be bestowing to others. Now, there's also this emotional card, the Ace of Cups. And the Ace of Cups here is water on water. And there is like never before. Okay, we can say, Scorpio, you are an emotional sign. You are a water sign. But you are a sign that speaks of complete transformation. But here, it's a beginning rather than transformation. That transformational energy has just ended here in your sign, because this is December. We have just gone through the Scorpio period. And for me, this is a period, the month of December is when you come into contact, you start to come into contact with your emotions. Now, the change that you'll be seeing enacted is a change where you take responsibility for certain actions. This is the Five of Swords. And the Five of Swords is Venus in Aquarius. And the Aquarius period would be January 21st to February 20th, more or less. And it is in that period that you will be sort of doing you're admitting, you will start to admit to yourself of things that you have been party to that caused difficulties for others. And this could play out in all different realms. It could play out on the workplace, on an emotional plane, on a romantic plane. But it is the period of Aquarius, that late January, beginning of the first part of February, when that will occur. Now, I'm going to take the Vera Sibilla here on especially the, well, I'd like to see them all, but let's look at the King of Cups, the King of Wands. I said you'll be presenting as the King of Wands. And the King of Wands is unlike the Scorpio that you are. Or for those of you who have a rising sign or your moon in a fire sign, this can pertain to you. But I'm seeing you, Scorpio, as the King of Wands. There's such fire there. Let me see. Okay, Donna Maritata, the female protector, the married woman. Consolante sorpresa, consoling surprise, and stanza, which is the room, communication. I do believe that in the beginning of this month is when you start to entertain the conversation, entertain communication with a person who has either been married before, who is currently married, who is partnered, but with whom you've had some kind of contact in the past. And it will be fairly swift communication of, could be tweets, it could be texts, it could be, but it's, could be conversation or written communication, but I'm hearing more of a written communication, and it will be good for you now. It will suffice for you now. Let's take a look at this Knight of Cups and see what that is trying to tell us here. Okay. Now, we have Sospiri, the sighing, Riunione, the meeting, and Morte, the death, the transformation. Now look, as I was saying, I believe that the coming together with a person that you will be communicating with in probably starting in November, and it's in your Scorpio period or right after your Scorpio period into December. will be taking place in December, but I don't believe there is any kind of contact, as you can see, physical contact. Now, doesn't seem to be that relevant, though. It seems that, I mean, you have lovely cards, except for this Five of Swords, and I'm going to take a look at that. Let's take a look at what that has, what this Sibilla have to say. Well, actually, the taking responsibility for your hand in matters, is quite a positive thing. I have the Vecchia Signora, the old lady who speaks to positive change, lettera, the communication, and omaggio di preziosi is the gift. I see here that it's similar to finally taking stock and understanding. And, you know, when the tears start falling because you've understood what has happened, you know, and when you take responsibility for your own actions. And this is played out to us in the cards as a very positive, has very positive significance. And again, this is Mercury in Aquarius, and I believe that in the Aquarius period, that's when it's going to start. I would like to take one more. Let's take the bottom card here. This is the Four of Cups. Well, quite interesting for me. Excuse me. The Four of Cups is the Moon in Cancer. And, you know, you ask for clarification, and the Moon in Cancer brings us more hidden elements. And what's interesting for me is that the Cancer period, which is the July, late June, early July period, is when there's going to be even more coming together. Even more coming together. Wait, as a matter of fact, I will take the bottom of this. Again, military, they are not talking. They are not talking. We were going to have to wait to see that. Let me take that was the prison, the military. The military is secretive, okay? Secretive. They're not talking. Okay. All right. Now, Rido is Merkstave near the Six of Pentacles, and for the time being, this moving forward with any kind of inheritance or money that is coming your way, something bestowed to you, is not going to happen in the month of December. It will be further on down the line. This is echoed by Fehu Merkstave as well. Now, in terms of the Knight of Cups and the issue of not being able to see that person or not coming together with that person, that actually is safeguarded by AWATS here. So, you know, leave it at that. Whatever communication you have is just fine. And also, I have Manat's Merkstave, which also tells me that you will not be seeing each other. But it's still, whether a Brightstave or Merkstave, Manat's still is a positive element in the sense that keep the communication flowing. Now, what I have here, very interestingly, on the Ace of Cups is Bjork, or Berkanas, and this is the beginning of a romance, the beginning of a new phase, or an straight off, completely changed, new phase, a different period. Izad talks of the type of relationship or the type of interaction, the type of bond where it's distinguished from other bonds. It seems that you sort of lay the ground rules with someone and you decide, no, you know, I just couldn't stand having a couch potato next to me, or I just can't stand the idea of always watching television at night. That would be a deal breaker for me. I'm saying stupid things, but or I really do think that we should live apart because I think we would need our own, you know, anything. But it's a distinct way that's different from what you've experienced in the past. Very interesting this for me, Scorpio. I do hope this was of help to you. Namaste, and until we read together again, bye-bye.